What's up guys, C2113 here, and in today's video we're going to be unboxing and installing the Karltys phone holder bracket for the F150 Lightning and Ford Mach-E. Alright guys, so sorry if the angle isn't great, but we're in my truck today because we're going to be unboxing an accessory for the Lightning, and this should also fit on the Mach-E, but this is specifically advertised as working for the Lightning, specifically if you have the larger display on your Lightning. So if it's a 22 or 23 model year, that's going to be your upper trim for the XLT and both levels of the Lariat trim, and of course the Platinum. And if it's a 24 model year, it's going to be, I think, starting with the Flash, then the Lariat, then the Platinum. But anyway, the point is, if you have the large Sync 4A display, this is going to fit. So we're going to see how well this thing works. And what it is, of course, is a phone holder mount. Now, one of the struggles with modern vehicles in general is there really isn't a good place to mount a phone holder of some kind. Now, I don't generally need one, but every now and then it would be nice to have my phone mounted up somewhere that's not just sitting down in one of the cup holders or in my center console storage area. So that's what this is supposed to help with. Now, as always, I'll leave the link in the description below if you want to check it out. I think at the time I got it, it was around 25 bucks, and there was a 5 to 10% off coupon. But like I said, check the description for that link for the most up-to-date pricing. If you watch this video a year or 2 years from now, the price could be completely different. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Now, the unique thing about this accessory is supposedly it's going to mount by just slipping over the top part of that display, as opposed to drilling into the upper storage tray or having to remove panels and bolt in a bracket or anything like that. So that's the advantage here. So what we have here is, this is the actual phone bracket, as you can see here, with the expandable arms, you can see. All right, and the last thing we got here is another ball socket joint. Now this is, you can see, just a clip for clipping into an air vent, but that's not, of course, what we're really here for. What we're really here for is this. There's already a ball for the socket to fit onto for your phone mount, so we'll test that out real quick. So you're going to unscrew this. You can see you're going to place your ring around that ball, pop the other part on, and then just tighten as needed. All right, so now that we've got this mounted up, as you can see, let's go ahead and get it into position on the head unit, and we'll see how it fits. All right, guys, so as you can see here, this, of course, is the Sync 4A system, so it's the larger 15-inch display. And let's just go ahead and try and slip this thing over. And guys, that is a surprisingly nice fit. Now, yes, if you look really closely, you can see it's not perfect. But, if I wasn't paying attention, like here, let me go ahead and pull this off of here. All right. If I wasn't looking, I would think somebody glued this, just the ball for your ball socket joint for the phone mount. I would just think someone glued this attachment point onto the actual frame of the display. But to actually see this whole section, it's so clean and smooth and low profile. And you know what? Honestly, it's not even that shiny. It just looks like it fits. It's a very clean look. It certainly does not look out of place. And you know what? Like I said, there are other solutions that involve drilling into this pad up top. No drilling required. And best part, if you're done with it, take it off. So, at least for my purposes, I'm very pleased with this. Now, There is one downside I can already see, and this is only going to apply if you're somebody that likes to use Blue Cruise. I don't use Blue Cruise. In fact, I will show you guys in a second. My Blue Cruise cameras are covered up because, little known fact, the Blue Cruise cameras are always active. Not something I'm thrilled about, and also I just don't want, the idea that there's constantly, infrared light bouncing off my face that would make me, super visible at all times at night by camera. That's just a little bit weird to me, so I just covered them up because like I said, I don't use Blue Cruise at all. Now, if you use Blue Cruise, I'm pretty sure this is going to cause a problem because the way that the Blue Cruise sensor looks at you, the line of sight is kind of blocked, and then by the time you put your phone on top of it, it's going to be completely blocked. But let me go ahead and grab the camera and give you guys a more close-up view of what I'm seeing. All right, guys, so what we got here is there's the Blue Cruise camera. As you can see, I have mine covered up. These are not permanent stickers or anything, but these are just static cling vinyl stickers. So again, I can leave that linked in the description if you actually want to cover up your Blue Cruise cameras like that. But that's just my personal thing. Obviously, I know plenty of people do use Blue Cruise, and for them, this could be a deal breaker. Now, I can see this being something that's very useful in the city, where of course you can't use Blue Cruise anyway because Blue Cruise is only for mapped highways. So in that case, this would be perfect. Like if you're an Uber driver or something like that, and you're using the Lightning or your Mach-E for that purpose, well, Blue Cruise isn't going to be a factor anyway. Like I said, in the city, you can use this. And the great part is this whole thing is removable. So you just grab one end, you grab the other, give it a little wiggle, pull it off, and you're ready to use Blue Cruise. That took less than 10 seconds. And then reinstallation, equally as simple. Guys, this product, as far as I'm concerned, is a winner. Because even if you're somebody that's like, well, I don't really need my phone up there at all times. I mean, it seems like kind of a distraction, but, there are times that could be nice. Well, listen, buddy, this is perfect. You can have your phone up there only when you need. You can have a beautiful, clean-looking install that doesn't rattle, that doesn't shake. And then you can just remove it when you're done. Boom. No residue, no mess. It doesn't even interfere with my installed screen protector. As you can see, I have a matte screen protector on there. It doesn't interfere with that in the slightest. I mean, guys, for the price, I am very impressed with this thing. Now, last step, of course, is to try it out with my phone, because obviously if it doesn't fit my phone, we're gonna have a problem. So of course, you have these little tabs. Squeeze that to unlock. Now I have a thick boy, as you can see here. This is my Z Fold 5. All right. Now, obviously, it's not going to fit in there unfolded, but folded, it fits just fine. So let me just unlock it. And as you can see, I've got perfect access to my phone, and I can even angle it. Let me adjust this real quick. I've obviously got the ball socket joint in the back, so I'm going to just angle this a little bit. It's angled towards me a little better. Tighten it up. It's not perfectly straight, but again, that just takes some adjustment. And you can see that, right? And then, of course, if I wake up my display over here, that's barely blocked at all. And that's probably because my phone is massive, right? If you have a smaller or thinner phone, it wouldn't be an issue. But certainly if you're just running navigation on here or media or whatever, this is perfectly functional. I can still see everything on my display. So I'm very pleased with this. This is like an ideal solution, honestly. And actually, it takes advantage of one of the design aspects of the Lightning's interior that a lot of people have an issue with, which is the sort of unfinished look of the portrait aspect ratio display. The standard 12-inch Sync 4 system, it fits in very nicely. It just fits in this area right here. There are physical climate controls underneath. And the top is very clean. You can easily access that storage bin on top. A lot of people complain that this display just kind of looks like an afterthought, like they just slapped a big tablet on here and then they just left this exposed. Well, this accessory takes full advantage of that afterthought look. It actually turns out to be a really invaluable design aspect for this particular accessory, because obviously this would not work on your standard Sync 4 system. You would have to have this larger display with the bezel at the top. So anyway, guys, that's my experience with this so far. I am very pleased with this thing. I think it's an excellent accessory, especially at the price. So if you want to check it out, you know what to do. The link is in the description like always. There's only a couple downsides I can think of and only one real one. And like I said, at least for my use case, it's still perfect. So the one minor downside that I can think of is that, yes, if you're sitting perfectly straight, looking dead ahead, if I'm looking towards the display, it does cut off like 1/8 of an inch on the far left side of your Sync 4A system, so your head unit. Now, that being said, when I'm using this, I'm almost always using Android Auto, and the controls on this side are controls I almost never touch. And so all the primary navigation, directions, and controls are well within reach, including the vehicle settings and all that, the camera button, all that stuff. Very easily accessible. And then the major potential downside / deal breaker, depending on, like I said, your use case, is that it would block your Blue Cruise sensor. So you can see the Blue Cruise sensor array is very well hidden behind there. So there is no way that the system would function properly because it would be unable to see your face, verify that your eyes are looking where they should be, and it would kick the system off or not allow it to start in the first place. However, like I said, this kind of setup, first of all, basically a zero skill install. You saw what I did. I slipped it on, I slipped it off. It's super easy. And then number two, easily removable. So if you need to, it's off and you can go back to using Blue Cruise however you need. And then the final thing is, this seems like the perfect setup for somebody that might use their vehicle for in-town navigation or doing like a ride share like Uber or Lyft. Because again, if you're in the city, Blue Cruise isn't going to work anyway. And this is perfect for needing constant verification of turn-by-turn navigation. If you're on the highway, you're not making all that many turns, right? And so this is honestly less necessary. But when you're in the city, it really is helpful to have your phone here. If you're an Uber driver or if you just are directionally challenged, I know I deal with that sometimes. So that can be a real big advantage. So if you liked the video, be sure to give it a like. If you have any questions, comments, or your own experiences with the Karltys Lightning and Mach-E phone holder, be sure to leave that in the comments below. And as always, if you want to see more, don't forget to get subscribed.